You're listening to Just Hit Play with your hosts, Peter and Nick Cabral. If you're tired of your stagnant, streamed music feed, then strap yourselves in for an intergenerational sonic journey through Peter and Nick's favourite songs.
Welcome to episode 108 of Just Hit Play. I'm your host, Peter. With me is my co-host, Nick. Nick, how is your morning going?
My morning's going well. One of those mornings where I just really didn't want to get out of bed. And it probably wouldn't if I didn't have this podcast to record. So thank you for getting me out of bed this morning.
That's why we're here. We're keeping you on track. How's school going? Do you have any classes today?
Yeah. I have 6 hours of class today, which is the norm for every day, actually. And school's kind of kicking my ass. It just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, I've got 2 midterms and 2 major assignments next week.
Right.
I don't know how that happened, but so it goes.
You haven't been back very long, have you?
No, and that's what's getting to me is like first few weeks, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden my teachers are like, oh yeah, by the way, you've got all these midterms coming up, and but par for the course, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess this is the gig. This is what you're into.
Yep. I don't know why, but I'm into it.
How many years do you have left?
I've got, after this year, I'm done with all my courses, and my last year will be strictly placement in a hospital.
Okay.
So.
Do you know what hospital you'll be in yet?
Not yet. I'll find that out next June.
Is there any chance you could go like regional? Could you go to like the Northern Territories or anything like that?
No. It's mostly all GTA. The furthest I could go is the frigid wasteland of Peterborough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know what's better. I don't know to go to the Northern Territories or Peterborough. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm hoping for it to stay downtown Toronto. That would be ideal.
Sure. Yeah, Peterborough would be. Nothing against the Peterboroughans, but that'd be boring as hell.
Yeah. What do you do there? Like, there's no concerts in Peterborough.
I think you point at the nuclear power plant, and that's about it.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Any Peterboroughians listening to this podcast, drop us a comment. Let us know what there is to do for fun there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe you'll have to wear shielded garments just from the nuclear power plant or something.
Perhaps. Yeah. I'll start lining everything with lead.
That's right. What is that cage? The Tesla cage, or that you can just walk around in? The Faraday cage. I think it's a Faraday cage you can walk around in.
Yeah. I'll have to order one of those off Amazon.
I'm sure you probably could.
Yeah.
And with us in our Brisbane studios, Darren, this is the first time you've been on the pod in a while. Darren, how's it going?
Going good. Just enjoying the spring weather we get here.
Yes, the weather's been absolutely lovely. It was hot a couple days ago, but it's gotten pretty mild again. But it's going to get really warm soon. So we're really enjoying this weather currently.
Yeah, take advantage while you can.
I moved, so I'm 3 minutes from the ocean now from where I live, and we went for a walk today, right at the seaside, and the breeze coming off the ocean is so nice. So I think that's where we'll be a lot of times, is going right to the ocean, because there's always a nice breeze coming that way.
3 minutes from the ocean. Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, apparently Sandgate. So I moved to a suburb called Sandgate. Apparently, this used to be a very nice resort type of town, where a lot of people went swimming here. But the airport's not that far away, so they really dredged the ocean to build the airport, which apparently ruined the beaches around Sandgate, because they're really muddy and you can't really. There's no visibility when you're in the water or anything like that. So you can't swim here. There are beaches, but there is no swimming. But you can enjoy the view, I guess.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a big shame. Was the town of Watergate like no vacancies, or what? You had to go to Sandgate?
Right. Yeah. I don't know why. I have no idea why they called it Sandgate, but that's the name. The Brisbane River is the same. I guess the Brisbane River was dredged 75, 80 years ago. So the Brisbane River is called the Brown Snake. And that's getting a little bit better, but it'll still be a few, probably 10 or 20 years before that silt dies down. And it's a normal river color again.
Wow. We just love polluting rivers, don't we?
Yes, we absolutely do. Okay, you're going first this week, so let's talk about your song.
Yes. So for this week, I got you to listen to the song "Tell Me" by James Blake. It's from his most recent album, which uh, dropped, I believe, in September or maybe August, called "Playing Robots into Heaven." But "Tell Me" is, standout track from this album. Um, I just think it's fantastic, but I don't think it's worth talking about it without listening to it. So, Darren, why don't you just hit play on Tell Me by James Blake?
Tell me if it's worth waking up for when there are so many reasons.
All right, so that's Tell Me by James Blake. So, tell me, what did you think of this song?
Yeah, this song kind of infuriated me a little bit. I really liked it when it started, and I really liked the video when it started, but it kind of didn't go anywhere for me. I'm really frustrated with the song.
Interesting. Frustrated is an interesting way to put it. And
Yeah.
do you feel that the beat drop and all of those things were unsatisfying for you?
Like there were some dynamic shifts to the song and things like that, which I appreciated, and I was really waiting for it to sort of kick off and go somewhere. But it just, I don't know. I don't know if I was hoping for something that wasn't going to come, or I was putting my own projections on the song. But yeah, I just couldn't get into it. And then, the video was so stark and so beautiful, and I was really, it was like, I loved the look of the video, and then the video didn't go anywhere. It just repeated the same montage every like 5 or 6 seconds, and that, I was like, that disappointed me. So yeah, it was one of those things where I just wanted something either different or more. I wish I could explain it better than that.
No, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. For me, why I think this is the best song on his new album, and probably the best song he's made in years, is I don't know if I've ever heard better production in a track like this ever before. Everything is off kilter, and none of the sounds that piece together this composition are conventional. Everything is just altered and done in such a creative, unique way that I think this is one of the craziest, most out there but grounded dance tracks I've heard in a while. It combines deep house with techno, with a little bit of soulful elements. There's some early 2010s dubstep. It's a wild mashup of a song for me.
Yeah.
But a lot of those things I mentioned are things that are probably not elements of music that you like or listen to very often. So
Yeah,
I get it.
I think at 5 minutes, it outweighs his welcome. Maybe if the song was 2.5 or 2 minutes, I could put up with this. I just kept waiting for something else. Yeah, and it definitely never showed up. And maybe I did watch the video, so maybe I was waiting for the video to change, and it never did. So if no one's seen this video, it's these people in there, and they're silhouetted, which is really beautiful. It's a very beautiful video for the 6 seconds it's there. And they're walking up like sort of like a dune, a sand dune, and they're silhouetted, so they're the sun's behind them, and they're walking up this hill, and it's very mesmerizing, but it just doesn't go anywhere.
Now, I don't know if this is actually meant to be a real music video, because pretty much all the songs on the album that don't have their own videos have this visualizer of just like this clip on loop. So I don't think this is meant to be a real music video. It's just like a quote-unquote visualizer that they put on YouTube to go along with the songs.
Right. Okay. Yeah,
'Cause
that
there-
really it really annoyed me. Yeah.
Because there are like 2-3 tracks on this album that got dedicated videos, and the rest have this clip on it.
Okay. So we don't know if this is a James Blake thing, or if it's just whatever it is.
Well, it was like uploaded by his YouTube channel, but it's just
Okay.
and now when songs release on YouTube, it's very common for them to just have instead of a video, again, a quote unquote visualizer, where it's just some little clip of something moving for a little bit, so you're not
Yeah,
looking at static album art.
Yeah. I'd rather look at the album art. Then I know I don't have to look at it.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. I don't know. It's a fine song. I just wanted something else to it. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, no, and as I said, that's fair. And um, so, funny enough, just a few days ago, a video was released featuring James Blake in conversation with Brian Eno, or Brian Eno. How do you say
Brian
that?
Eno. Yeah. Brian Eno.
Yeah, they had like a 15-minute sit down talk. James Blake played him the new album, and they just sort of really went deep on songwriting and
Oh, okay.
chords and structure and things of that nature. It was a really interesting video. Um, at one point, Brian Eno says that in James Blake's first hit, Brian Eno hated it because he used the quote unquote asshole chord, some chord that he said only assholes use in music or something.
Right.
But in the video, James Blake tells Brian Eno, tell me, and he had this to say about it. That is disturbing, was his instant reaction. Disturbingly brilliant. I think that's the most modernist piece of music I've heard for a long time. And I think that's a pretty good way to look at this song. It feels like someone's setting out to make the most immediate, modernist, grand track they could. And again, that's why I like it. I understand it's probably not for everybody, but it feels very now and very boundary pushing.
Well, Eno is an interesting cat. Obviously, world famous producer. He's produced the Talking Heads, Coldplay, U2, et cetera, et cetera. I could see why he would like this song. He's very much into this kind of sound. I mean, he has a song called "The Fullness of Wind," which goes on for about half an hour. And so he's very experimental, Brian Eno. So I can totally understand where he would be coming from and digging this song.
And then I also liked later in the video, he said that when he's listening to music or a song, lyrics are pretty much always the last thing he pays attention to or listens to. And I like that. Finally, some representation, someone else who listens to music the way I do.
He's famously does not care about lyrics.
Yeah.
No, there is a song on Unforgettable Fire. And I'm blanking on the name of the song, which is shocking, but I'm blanking on the name of the song. And so he had this piece of music and he slowed it down and got Bono to sing over the song. And Bono goes, I haven't written any lyrics for it. And he goes, oh, no, just make it up. It's just a placeholder. So Bono just made up these lyrics on the spot and over the slowed down piece of music. And Bono goes, yeah, that's pretty good. I'd love to really finish that. And Eno goes, oh, no, that's finished. That's the way it's going to go.
Yeah,
and that's how the song got put on the album, is just one take of Bono just scatting over a piece of slowed down music that the band was just jamming. And I'm blanking on the name of the song, but yeah, that's on Unforgettable Fire.
Nice. Well, shout out Brian. He's produced a lot of good stuff that I like.
Oh my god, yeah, classic music.
Yeah. There's a time where I was going through music credits and who produced what, and Brian Eno popped up a lot as far as slightly older music that I like. So
David Bowie, yeah, Talking Heads. Oh my god, yeah. Duran Duran. I was about to say Duran Duran. Coldplay's best album, I think Brian Eno did. Yeah, amazing producer.
Yeah, there was one point I went into a record store and started talking to the guy behind the counter, and he was trying to give me recommendations. He asked me what sort of music I liked, and after I was done, he said, yeah, you should just go through and look at everything Brian Eno's produced.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good recommendation. Yeah, if anyone's out there who hasn't sourced out any Brian Eno material, please do. Some of his solo music is he's up his own ass, but the production and how this sounds is absolutely amazing.
Well, I will say his Music for Airports album has been the soundtrack for a
Yeah.
lot of studying for me. A lot.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll put on that music, and I'll be in the land of Nod, as they like to say pretty quickly. Cool.
Another big reason I really wanted to play this song is because recently you've been getting me to listen to a lot of songs from the Manchester scene,
Yep.
and sort of the acid club scene, and it's been a lot of early 90s British dance music. And I think this song is the perfect representation of
Where it's gone, yeah.
in September 2023, this is what British dance music is.
Okay, interesting.
James Blake is one of the premier DJs slash producers of dance music of the last 10 years. He doesn't DJ nearly as much anymore now that he's
Right.
Producing and writing for Beyonce and other big names of that nature. But he got his roots playing underground clubs and doing music like this, and he's finally returned to it. A lot of people are very happy he's making dance music again. I, for one, am there in that camp. But yeah, this is the cutting edge of dance music that you will find in sweaty underground basements. It's grimy, it's dirty, it's choppy, and it just feels like this.
Can I ask a question that might be too obvious, but I'm going to ask it anyway? If it's dance music, shouldn't it have a beat that people could dance to?
You don't think you could dance this song?
I don't. No, like, okay, so before we get into my song, like the Soup Dragons is coming up for me. That has a very specific like beat to it that I think people could dance to. I don't know. Do people dance to this kind of music?
Oh, I could absolutely dance to this kind of music.
Really? Okay. See, I don't see how. Yeah.
To clarify, by dance, like I mean just like jumping up and down and like getting really like energetic.
Yeah. See, I didn't get that from this song at all.
Oh, okay. See, that's the generational difference kicking.
It is exactly right. Yeah.
Because and again, we'll get to your song in a bit. While I liked it, I don't really think I would enjoy it if it came on in a club. I'd much rather hear something like this with like strobe lights flashing, going crazy, and like the bass blowing my ears out. And yeah, I would enjoy that more.
Yeah, see, I would not enjoy that. It's a very interesting generational thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But as I said, I'm a big fan of James Blake. He definitely went when he started working with big pop stars and he was getting bigger, his music shifted from this techno EDM stuff to still very experimental and within his own lane, but it definitely became poppier and a bit more instrumental, I guess, less electronic. But with this album, he said he wanted to go back to his roots, go back to what felt natural for him.
Right.
And this is the result. It's also by far his best reviewed and best received album in a long time. So I think it's been pretty successful. And yeah, I'm a big fan. But I definitely understand why you're not the biggest, and I didn't expect you to be. I just wanted to show you what the youth are dancing to now in the English clubs.
So there you go. I didn't even know James Blake was English. I don't know anything about him. I didn't know where he was from or what. So that's interesting.
Yep. He's English, and he's fantastic.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, not for me. It left me lukewarm, but maybe if I was on Pingers or something like that in a club, I'd feel differently. I don't know.
If you were on the balloons like Jadon Sancho, you'd enjoy it a lot.
That's right. But yeah, it wasn't for me.
Fair enough. And Darren, what'd you think? Did you Tell Me?
Didn't do anything for me. I don't think I hated it as much as Pete, but it didn't do anything for me.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. So as we aforementioned, we're going to get into the Soup Dragons. Their biggest hit is "I'm Free." Now, earlier on, I got you to listen to "No More Understanding" by the Soup Dragons, which is a song I actually like more. But this is their biggest hit of all time. It went pretty global. This song was released in 1990. It's a good example of what the Manchester scene was around this time, and we've listened to a few other songs from this era in the last few episodes. So let's listen to "I'm Free" by the Soup Dragons. Darren, just hit play.
Don't be afraid of your freedom. I'm free to do what I want any old time. I said I'm free to do what I want any old time. I say
All right, so there's "I'm Free" by the Soup Dragons, which came out in 1990. See, again, going back to what you were saying, to me, this is like an indie dance song, much more than the James Blake song. But again, we talked about it, it's a generational thing. So what did you think of "I'm Free"?
Yeah, I did like this song. I thought it was really catchy. I thought it was fun. The instrumental's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Yeah, it's just a really good vibe song. Yeah, I think that's how I'd frame it. It's a good vibe song. It makes me smile. Feels warm. Feels happy.
Right.
I could listen to this on the beach. Having a stroll on the beach. Yeah, it's just a nice chill song.
This song is heavily influenced by sort of a reggae sound. Obviously, there's a reggae performer on the song itself. So it's very, even the guitar work is a little bit reggae, the beat's a little bit reggae, so it's a very reggae-based song too.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that, for sure. It has that flavor to it, and I think that adds a lot to the song. A lot, to be honest. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the song is the reggae influence.
Yeah. Okay, so even though the Soup Dragons aren't from Manchester, they're from Motherwell, still fits that sort of scene of the hacienda, going out, dropping some acid and going to the club, and it's very much white dance music. So let's make that clear too. The Manchester scene was very heavily influenced by white indie rock dance music. So before we go in any further, it's very evident that is the music that we're listening to.
Yeah, this is it feels a little bit like whitewashed reggae. I'll just come out and say that.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got.
And again, it goes back to, like the Beatles and the Stones listened to early R&B music coming from America. They took that and made it their own. Then that music went back to America. So it's this really cross-generational music that can come out of anywhere and be influenced by anything. So sort of there's another subgenre of reggae called ska music, which is a little bit ska music as well.
Yeah.
So it's all sort of in there.
Now, I think my personal jury is still out on ska music. I have no idea how I actually feel about it. Both from like a immediate standpoint of like I don't know if I like it, and two, I don't know I don't know how to feel about it in the sense of it almost sounds like appropriation to me.
Yeah.
Like a little bit,
Sure. Yeah. So ska music again is very, obviously reggae music came from Jamaica, and a big influence was Bob Marley, who was signed to Island Records. Island Records obviously is an English record label, and he was their biggest star up until U2, had the Joshua Tree and became the megastars they are. It was Bob Marley was Island Records' biggest star, and Island Records, even though it was based in the UK, is Island Records because it sort of Chris Blackwell, the head of Island Records, started in Jamaica, so that's why it's called Island Records.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I actually never knew that U2 and Bob Marley were signed to the same label.
Yeah.
But so was there like crossover between them? Because my dad's a big Bob Marley fan, but I don't think he listens to any other reggae or ever has. So
No, I know you two were big Bob Marley fans. They loved the aesthetic of Bob Marley, the idealized Bob Marley, because Bob Marley was very spiritual, and you two are a very spiritual band. Um, Here's a weird fact: in 1985, the record label Island Records ran out of money and asked U2 for a loan. The label that owned U2 had to ask U2 for a loan, or they were going to go under, which is kind of funny.
No, that is hilarious.
Yeah, so
I like
I don't
that.
know how they badly managed their money, but yeah, U2 had to give the record label a loan so they could stay afloat.
Wow. Well, good on them, I guess. That must be a very
Yeah,
gratifying position to be in as an artist, like being able
yeah.
to give the record label a loan.
Well, I know this is not a U2 episode, but what that really did to U2, it to for this loan, what U2 got back was the rights to all their music.
Oh wow.
So that was the gift that Island Records gave back to them for the loan to keep them afloat. Was that U2 got? You know how we talked about Taylor Swift has all her old recordings. She doesn't have rights to them,
Yeah.
and so she re-recorded everything to get those rights back. U2 got them all. So when the U2 signs a new record deal, they can sign a record deal for hundreds of millions of dollars because they licensed all their old songs to the record company.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very good. That's very good for them. It's huge to
Yeah.
own your own masters and everything.
Yeah, that's why people always are confused why U2 and the Rolling Stones can sign these mega record deals, knowing that they're never going to sell new records. It's all about the old records and all the rights that people can make to their old songs.
Yeah, precisely. No,
Yeah,
it's huge. It's a big deal.
yeah. So that was just the side. I don't know why I know that information, but I know it. Call it just stuff I've picked up over the years.
Fair enough.
This type of music is called baggy. It's just a British alternative dance genre. I've never heard of baggy until I was sort of doing research into this. It has a lot to do with the sound of the music and the clothes that people were wearing. In the early 90s, we all wore really baggy clothes for some reason. I don't know why. That's the reference to a lot of this music is baggy.
Well, baggy is back. I don't know
Is
if
it
you're
really?
aware,
Okay, no,
but
no, I didn't. Yeah.
baggy is back in style. Like when I go to buy pants now, I'm looking to see like, okay, are these pants baggy enough? Because you don't want your pants to be
Okay.
too slim fitting or too tapered.
Okay. So we're coming back to the early 90s, are we?
We're back, yeah, yeah. If you have anything in your closet that made it to Australia from the '90s, pull it
Yeah, see
out,
what I got?
pull it out.
Okay, yeah, that's funny. I had no idea it was back. And the tie dye was a big thing too. So baggy jeans and tie dye was a really big thing during this time. Is tie dye back, or is that still in the closet at the moment?
Uh, I don't think tie dye's back.
Thank
Even if it
heavens.
is, I don't think I'll be participating.
No, thank heavens, because tie dye's terrible.
I'm not a tie dye guy, I
No,
must say.
no. I'm going to finish off with two more things about this song and about the Soup Dragons. The Soup Dragons broke up in the mid '90s after because the next album they had a little bit of success, but nothing as close to this song. And then the next album after that had nothing, so they broke up. But they got back together of March of this year, and they're touring in October, November in the UK. So if you're in the UK in the next month or so, you can see the Soup Dragons. They're on tour.
No way, no way. I guess rent was due.
I guess rent was due. And the other interesting thing is that this is a cover song from the Rolling Stones, which released "I'm Free" in 1965, and this song by the Super Dragons released in 1990. So this is a great time for who played it better, the Rolling Stones or the Soup Dragons. So we've listened to the Soup Dragon song. Let's listen to a few seconds of the Rolling Stones. Darren, just hit play.
I'm free to do what I want any old time.
Okay, so Nicholas, if you had to pick, are you going with the Rolling Stones or are you going with the Soup Dragons?
This is a tough one for me because first listen of the Rolling Stones song, I thought, I like the Soup Dragons more. But this time, like just now, as I heard Darren hit play on the Rolling Stones, I don't know. There's something about the guitar. It's like a Velvet Underground-y guitar
Mm-hmm.
that it just does something to me. And I think I might have to go with the Stones.
So you're going with the Stones. Okay. How about you, Darren? Who are you going with?
Going with the Stones because the other version got used in the Coles TV ads too often here.
Yeah, it did get used in the Coles ad. You're right about that. Okay, I like both versions. I think if I'm cleaning the house, I would put on the Rolling Stones song because it's really sort of a little bit chipper. It's a little bit more upbeat. But I'm going to go with the Soup Dragons just for nostalgic reasons. And I think the Soup Dragons do a better version than the Rolling Stones. So I'm going with the Rolling Stones.
All
Sorry,
right.
I'm going with the Soup Dragons. My mistake, Soup Dragons.
Yeah. Fair enough. Very fair.
Yeah. I'm going to put this on Instagram as well. So there's going to be a poll on Instagram for you guys to have your say. Which one did you prefer, the Rolling Stones or the Soup Dragons? And right now it's 2-1 for the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
Almost 2-1 for the Soup Dragons, but you changed your mind at the last minute.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones, they got a buzzer beater
Yeah.
just now to have me switch my mind. So
I think the reggae influence on the song does it for me for the Soup Dragons.
yeah, that's extremely fair.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. There's that guitar in the Rolling Stones. It's so good.
Yeah. And I forgot to mention the on the Soup Dragons version, the reggae artist that's performing, his name is Junior Reed. So I forgot to mention that earlier.
Junior Reed, Shadow Junior Reed.
Yeah, really good
brought
performance.
brought some spice to the Soup Dragons.
What song do you have for me for next week?
For next week, you're going to listen to "I Remember Everything" by Zach Bryan featuring Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, sounds good. Zach Bryan. That sounds country music. I don't know Zach Bryan.
I don't want to tell you too much.
Okay, I'll wait for it then. Okay.
Yeah.
And for you next week, I didn't actually pick your song for next week. My friend Lucy did. So I got her. Lucy is a fan of this episode. I've known Lucy. God, I think we went to kindergarten together back in the day. And thank God for Facebook. So we've become friends over the last little while again. And when I was home last year, we went on a few hikes together. Her parents were having a 50th wedding anniversary, and she asked me if I'd come along and photograph her parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So it's been, I've rekindled my friendship with Lucy, and I'm very appreciative of that. And I'm also very appreciative of her listening to this podcast. So, saying all that, let's listen to a little bit of an audio clip that Lucy sent in for you, Nick.
It's 1993, and the Cranberries' album, Everyone Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We, is played on repeat in my university dorm room. Dolores' simple and beautiful love song, Dreams, really resonated with me because I was nearly the same age as she was and also in love. In Dreams, Dolores' voice goes from delicate and soft before becoming an intense and emotional cry, transcending you to another place where you feel like time has stopped. It's just beautiful.
All right, so Nick, there's your song for next week, "Dreams" by the Cranberries, which actually works on two levels. When's Thanksgiving for you guys?
Thanksgiving is about a week and a bit from now.
Okay, so there we go. I know we're getting into Spooktober seasons. We're going to start picking some maybe a little bit darker songs, but this works out because Cranberries is something you have at Thanksgiving, so we went with Thanksgiving and the Cranberries.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to listen to this song. I know the song "Zombies" by the Cranberries, and that's a fantastic song.
It is.
So, yeah, and Lucy, thank you for sending that audio clip in. I'm really excited to listen to it, especially with that context now. So, yeah, I'm pumped.
Yeah. No, and thank you, Lucy. Really appreciate all your support that you've given us. So thank you very much. All right, what are your plans for the rest of the week?
Well, schoolwork, studying, and then on Saturday,
you got some midterms coming up. Yeah,
and then on Saturday I'm going to watch my sister's rugby game. She's on the TMU rugby team, so
Nice.
I'm going to go watch that. And Saturday night, my school is having like a boat cruise party event. Like they rented a boat for us, and it's going to sail out on the Toronto Harbor, and there's drinks and dancing and karaoke, and it should be a lot of fun. So that's my Saturday night.
I went whale watching about a month ago, 2 months ago, and I puked my guts out. So hopefully you don't have the same experience that I had on the boat.
Hopefully not. I don't think
No,
we're going into any rough waters. So
The water was really, really choppy, and I took seasick tablets, but they didn't kick in until I got off the boat.
Yeah.
So, if you're going to take seasick tablets, maybe an hour before you get on. That's the best time to take your seasick tablets.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I took them right before I got on the boat, thinking they would kick in. They did not. No. How about you, Darren? What do you got going on this week?
Nothing exciting. Just editing videos.
I have an interesting photo shoot on Sunday morning. I'm photographing a friend of mine. She owns a horse, and she's actually almost at the Olympic level of dressage, which is a horse event at the Olympics. So we're going to photograph her and a horse on Sunday morning about sunrise. So we're going to get some beautiful sunrise light, and hopefully it is a nice sunrise and the light is good. So I'll post those on my Instagram if anyone's interested in seeing them.
Nice.
Yeah. Nothing like waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go photograph a horse. We'll see how it goes.
Anything for the shot.
Yeah. Anything for the gram, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about our independent artist this week. And it's an artist that we've featured before. The band is Minor Gold. They're friends of mine. I've seen them play. I photographed them a few times, and we're going to listen to a song called Tumbleweed. I really love the song. I listened to it all day actually today, and I really dig it. So thank you very much, Minor Gold, for letting us play your song Tumbleweed. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Spring unfolds, wave goodbye to my old friend. Sad to say that our tale has reached the end. Been together from east to west, north and south, no fixed address. So alive, summer came, we took a drive. Worn out shoes don't bring the blues to the living kind. Gambled on a chance to leave, floating on a desert breeze, rolling like a tumbleweed. Time rolls by, shifting like the season. Young hearts fly without any reason. Years go by, rolling like a tumbleweed. Changing winds, another road, another door. The time had come. You said he'd leave by the winter thaw. The ice did melt. You said I'll see ya. Thumbed a ride on an 18-wheeler. Now he's rolling like a tumbleweed. Time rolls by, shifting like the season. Young hearts fly without any reason. Years go by, rolling like a tumbleweed. Now he's rolling like a tumbleweed.
You've been listening to Just Hit Play. To contact your hosts, Peter and Nick, or to be featured on an episode as musical talent, Email justhitplay7300@gmail.com. Keep up to date with news and announcements by following on Instagram and Facebook, linked in the show notes. Subscribe on your favourite podcatcher to tune in next week for more Sonic delights. And if you can't wait till then, check out the Just Hit playlist on Spotify, linked in the show notes. A special thanks to Braden Munch for the theme song, and thank you for listening.